There's an old saying, it's lonely at the top. Now, while a pastor isn't a CEO, at the same time, that phrase certainly can be descriptive of the pastoral ministry. Why is this the case? Well, it's often the case that you're studying the scriptures at a very deep level, and there are not a whole lot of people that you can talk to about it because they just don't understand it at that particular depth. Or it could be that you are counseling with people in your congregation and you're familiar with many intimate details of their lives and their challenges, and you're really not at liberty to talk about those things. You can't talk about it with friends or family. And so that's why it can feel lonely at the top sometimes, at least in the pastorate. So what's a person to do? Well, I think that there are three things that you can keep your eyes on. First of all would be family. I think that one of the things you can do as a pastor is ensure that you have a really strong relationship with your family. Spend time with your wife, spend time with your children, spend time with extended family so that you have fellowship, so that you have friendship, so that you have a lot of downtime with them so that it takes your mind off of things that perhaps you can't talk about. I think a second avenue for combating loneliness would be as reaching out to members of your session or your consistory. In other words, it's typical that among the elders in your church, you're going to be sharing some of these things with them because of the pastoral sensitivity or necessity of counseling people in your church. Or they're going to have usually a greater interest in the Word of God at a deeper level. So that means you can talk to them about such things. I think having a good, close bond with your elders, therefore, is another way of combating loneliness. It can be your band of brothers, if you will, where you really engage in hearty fellowship with them. You share your concerns, you share your woes, you share your joys. And that, I think, can be an important circle of friendship that you should really foster. And then a third potential outlet would be at academic conferences. There are numerous conferences around the country throughout the year that cover a host of subjects from practical to academic, where there are other theologians, pastors, professors, scholars of various sorts and stripes, where you can really get into in-depth conversations with them, establish friendships with them, say over social media, through email, and perhaps even participate in reading clubs and what have you, where you can really feed your desire and your interest to know more about the Word of God, and thus keep loneliness at bay. So family, reaching out to your session or to your consistory, or academic conferences. Those are three simple ways to ensure that you don't get overwhelmed by that sense of loneliness in the ministry.